Welcome to Between the Pages. I'm your host, MarKela, and tonight we have the one and only Tay Monae. How are you
Hey,
doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Where are you joining us in from?
Ohio, Cleveland, Ohio.
Girls cold.
I told you. This weather been acting up these past couple of days too. I'm
No.
over it.
Have you guys had snow yet?
um, we had like little periods of it, but nothing major. Knock on wood. It's
Oh,
just been cold the past couple of days though. But I'm supposed to get back in like the 50s and 60s this weekend. So
but that's that bipolar weather.
yeah, oh for sure,
Yeah.
every
I'm in
year.
South Carolina, so it is like 69 degrees one day, 40 the next day. So yeah,
I
it is
wish.
bipolar as well. So we're gonna dive straight in, and we're gonna start off by saying like, how long you been writing?
6 years in August. So
Ooh,
5.5.
how did you get into it?
Um, I kind of just like it kind of like honestly fell in my lap. I kind of have always wrote, and then I was started doing like short stories and like reading groups and stuff, and my previous publisher was sent one and reached out to me, and it kind of went from there.
So did you read just growing up too as well, or
I started really reading in the fifth grade. Like Harry Potter's Wizard or not Wizards, series of unfortunate events, stuff like that. And then probably like seventh, eighth grades, like 13, 14 is when I like start reading like more mystery books, urban and all that. So kind of. Which is really crazy because I didn't really care to read like when I was like younger. I really like I've always liked to write, but I never really cared to like read for real.
yeah. Do you have a biggest inspiration in the industry, or what started you to be like, I'm just gonna write?
Not anymore, no. Now I'm
Yeah.
kind of just like, I mean, there's certain things from like different authors I kind of admire, but no, not
Yeah,
really.
I
Not
see.
anyone like that. I'll be like, oh, I wish, or whatever. It's kind of like different things from like different authors. I'm like, oh, I admire that, or
Yeah.
that's inspiring, stuff like that.
What was your first published book?
Forever Down with Him. Forever Down with Him. It was a three-part series.
How did you get that story in your head?
Dang, I don't even remember. Honestly, I feel like I just one day was like I said, I was just in the reading groups and I feel like I just like was writing on it one day and then I had a Wattpad at the time too. So I like was writing on Wattpad and I don't know, it kind of just like wrote it like it became itself, I guess. That
Right.
I honestly don't even remember. I think it's just something like I just was trying out and it kind of just happened.
Now tell us what that first series was about.
Oh, Lord, then folks.
It's
um,
you know your catalog is like,
man, oh my
yeah.
gosh. So it follows Nike and Shani, who, okay, so Nike is Shani's best friend's older brother. So it follows like he was like her first, and everything. Of course, he did some, fuckboy shit. And after he takes her virginity and everything, and they end up separating. Well, yeah, if y'all read my work, y'all know I love me a good secret baby. Okay. So that's where it all started. So she gets pregnant, but he doesn't know. She like cuts herself like away from her best friend. Like everybody. She's like, no. So she gets pregnant or whatever, and like years go by, and the book picks up years later, and he's back in. No, sorry, she's back in town after going away for school. She's back in town, and they run into each other, and of course, she has to end up revealing who the secret or whatever. And meanwhile, she's running away from an abusive ex. So like that causes conflict because like she had a whole nother man raising their kid. So
No,
there's
right?
that. And then there's another couple named Trina and Duke. And Trina and Duke. They were ghetto. So Duke is Nike's best friend, and Trina is Nike's sister. And they end
Got
up sleeping together one night, and of course, she gets pregnant. And at first, she doesn't really say anything, but once it comes out, it causes like a whole bunch of mishaps because they're both hoes for real, and they ain't really ready to give up being hoes for real. So they like clash because their
it.
personalities are so much alike. So yeah, so that's the general substance of both.
Yeah. So when you look back on your work, what are you like? I done came a long way.
Oh,
What?
for sure. I always I feel like in my older books, I didn't expand on my plots enough. Like I feel like my books, I ended drama too soon, or like I really didn't expand on certain things. So I feel like now I develop my stories a lot better, and even like my characters and everything, like I give them more dimensions than I did previously,
Ugh.
which adds more to the story. So I definitely, but compared to my older work compared to now, I definitely believe my character development and story development has evolved for sure.
You think? Girl, you will expand on some people now. Listen,
Listen,
we'll get into your catalog in a minute because I've been up and through there. But let's go back and let's talk about how many books have you written so far?
I just released my 80th book this month.
80th in 6 years.
Yes, yes, yes.
Girl,
And I feel like I probably would have done more, but I slowed down a lot the year before and a lot last year for sure. Like I slowed down on releasing a lot, but yep, 80 books. It's a lot of
that's a lot.
characters.
That's a lot. That's
To
a lot.
me.
How do you come up with your subjects?
I honestly from everything, music, like other books I've read, like say if for instance, I was just reading a book the character had a prosthetic arm or was it leg. Well, I read two different ones. One was a prosthetic arm, one was a prosthetic leg, and I was like, I never wrote about somebody with a prosthetic leg. I want to do that before. I mean, or do that. So I'll see stuff like other books. I'm like, oh, that would be fun to write about. Music, TV shows, movies, everyday life. Hell, sometimes just randomly, I'll be just sitting here, whatever, and I'll just start thinking, and I'll be like, I gotta write that down. So literally everywhere. People watching everything. TikTok, a lot on TikTok. TikTok will give you a lot of ideas because then people over there are different.
TikTok. Look at Teresa Tisa and stuff. Not you about to have that in your books.
I didn't even watch it. I didn't even watch it because I'm like, look, I sympathize what you do. I mean, what you went through and everything. I'm
Yeah.
like, but look, sis, I'm out here trying to make it, and you just tell this wild story and you get put on. I ain't got time for that, okay? I'm trying to make it myself, so I sympathize with you, but I ain't listening to all that.
You know, her story was wild. Yes, it was. But I
Ugh.
know some people that still went through some wild, wild mess. So I will say it gets worse.
I believe
I will
it.
say it can get worse.
I definitely believe it.
So you have this way of writing to take us on an emotional roller coaster.
You think?
Yes. I don't know if you realize that or not, but you do.
I always feel like
I
I don't add enough emotions to my book. Like I feel like I struggle with adding emotions. I was just talking to my editor about that with my last book. I feel like I need to expand more on on my emotions and descriptions of emotions and everything.
You do. You take us on an emotional ride. What's
I,
one of my favorite? Tattoo Your
I
Name.
love that book.
Girl,
On my heart, yes, that's my favorite book
in
still
my
that I've
heart,
written.
listen, that one right there,
Yes.
everything to me. Um, that one right there was everything to me. I was like,
Yes,
it was because they both went through. They both had their own drama. I mean, own
drama.
insecurities. Think trauma, yeah, they both had their own trauma and everything. And then the way that he was like, because we're gonna go ahead and talk about it. The way that you go ahead and have like some guys that don't want to face you, they want to turn you around.
Yeah,
And it's like the way that you show like the reason why. It was like I was
yeah. Cause I
like,
know like I've seen it like some guys like I grew like me growing up I had like a lot of guy friends. I know a lot of them say face to face was just the reason why they didn't really do face to face was because it was too intimate.
yes,
And so I was like I don't want it to be something like that where it's just like because I don't see no future with you. I'm like no, you about to have a reason, you about to have a purpose why you got to go from the back like you got to we about to expand on this more.
right. Like, and one of the ladies said in the chat, "Drunken love." Drunken love was the bomb.
Drunken
Yes.
Love stresses me out because everyone raves about it, and I honestly I feel like, and I said this every time I talk about it. I feel like Drunken Love. I did not do anything special with Drunken Love. Like to this day, I will reread it, and don't get me wrong. Like I love the story. Like the characters were fun. The plot was fun. I love writing about like celebrities and all that. Like their whole world's just fun, but I honestly don't feel like I did anything different from like my other books compared. And so many people are like, no, you did that. And I'm like, I don't like, I mean, I appreciate it. I'm like, but that's what I said. I'm like, Tattoo, if anything, I feel like Tattoo, My Name on Your Heart was more the book I did more something, the little razzle dazzle with, but each his own. I'm glad everyone liked the book in general. So
Your books are great. Your books are deep to me. I always have like some kind of meaning, some kind of like something emotional, something that somebody that's been through something can, you know, connect
yeah,
with. And when you put Wesley Siobhan or Winston or Jacoby on any of that, girl, yes, you done
yes.
spent the whole winter for that. I literally I literally spent like I just was like on Audible and I was just like, read this one. Everything that was on Audible at the time, Audible got so much money for me, it didn't make nobody sense
Thank
because I
you.
was grieving. And so during the grieving process, I was like trying to healthy grieve. So I
Yeah,
dived into books and Audible I don't think it was healthy with the price because you only get two credits for the
credits.
$25 or whatever. So and certain books you can't get. So I was like, oh, I was just spending at that point.
Oh, but I appreciate it. I definitely, because
And
I'm not personally an Audible book girl. I don't care for Audibles.
no,
But I know a lot of readers are like getting into it and prefer it and everything. So I always like am happy that people are tapping into it because I'm like, that's not my world right there. I'll get them for y'all, but that is not my world over there.
it's my world. It was my world until I figured out another way of doing what I to do. But I like Audible when they're able to bring the story to life. Because sometimes they can just bring out that story and it bring out a raw emotion, especially if you have a good narrator. So
Yeah.
I I love that Audible. What has been your favorite genre to write?
Um, Probably urban romance because I feel like it's more of like a true genre for me. Like I never feel like I'm really in contemporary writer, and I don't feel like I'm a straight urban writer either. So I feel like urban romance is definitely like a good balance for me. So I would say urban romance. And there's so much range you can do, to go either way, more romance, more urban, mix of the
Yeah,
two.
that's
I would
true.
definitely say urban romance for sure.
Now that is very true. I haven't heard the answer put that way. Like you can go here, you can go there with it. Yeah. Um,
Yes.
now what genre you haven't written in but would like to?
I want to try my hands in a dark romance, and I
Hmm?
want to try my hand in like mystery.
I see the mystery big time.
Yeah, I since I first started writing, I wanted to try mystery. Like I've always been into like mystery books, like cozy mysteries, regular mystery stories. I love like mystery shows. I'm like always listen to like true crime stuff like that. Regardless if I do like a murder or a thief or whatever, like I'm always just been into that type of stuff. So I always said I want to do it, but I don't know. It's kind of intimidating because it's like you got to have everything, and that makes like everything has to make sense by the time you reveal what's going on, you know?
What's going
So
on?
it's kind of like intimidating. So I've been like, slow poking around with it, but I'm like, I'm gonna get it together. I'm gonna get it together.
Definitely, what you can't show your hand. You have to keep giving clues and
Yeah.
clues.
That's what I'm saying. Like, and stuff got to make sense once it comes out, and then it's like, why? Like, why did this happen? Why, does it make sense? Is it whatever? Like, and then if I want to do like incorporate like a romance in it, or if I just want to do like a straight mystery, like I gotta have all those factors. And so it's a lot, but that's my goal eventually is to dabble in mysteries and see if how I do with that.
Now, what has been your favorite book? You know you got a listen, girl. What is your
Um,
favorite book in your catalog though?
it's still tattoo your name on my heart.
Yeah. Is it
That's it. I actually really like also A Girl Like Me. I just released that in December, November, one of them. And that one's kind of like loosely based on me. So it's one's like real special to me. And then actually like my latest one I just released too, Wrapped Up in His Reckless Ways. Like that one it was
now?
just fun. Like everything about it was fun. It wasn't anything like super heavy, super serious. Like both characters, just kind of wrote themselves. So
I'm currently reading it now, guys. If anyone want to hop on the train with me and read it, it's
yes,
Wrapped
thank
Up in Your
you.
Rugged Ways. I'm currently reading it too now as well. So it is on Amazon. Now, will that one be going to Audible?
Yeah, eventually, yeah,
Okay. Okay.
definitely for sure.
So how do you come up with your titles?
With my titles,
Mhm.
um, kind it depends. Like sometimes, like the story itself just gives me the title. A lot of times I get them from like a song. Like I'll go through like my playlist or my Apple Music, whatever, and I'll find something that matches whatever I'm writing about. Um, titles are
Titles
hard.
hard.
So it's kind of like sometimes they come naturally. Sometimes like Wrapped Up in His Regular Ways, I honestly don't even know where that came from. Like I don't know, everything, I guess. Mainly music though, like music titles or songs or whatever.
Now walk me through your process. Do you normally gotta have the cover first, the character's name first, you gotta write the synopsis first? What has to happen for you for that story to start coming?
I never write my synopsis doesn't get written until like I'm uploading the book. Um so typically I have to just have the storyline, like the story I in mind. And then I'll come up with my characters' names. I'll do my development sheets, I'll do like my loose outline, and then I'll start writing. My cover, I don't have to have the cover right away. That normally comes somewhere. If I don't already have it or have an idea for it, that'll come like later, like midway through my writing or whatever. But yeah, I have to at least have my story direction and general plot before I even start anything.
Now I do see you on Facebook and sometimes you do have like your personalities and things like that down. Would you say you are an outline writer or a freestyle?
Oh no, well, kind of both. Like I don't outline like chapter by chapter by chapter, but I have to have like a general overview of what's going on. It's like I outline like the main events that I have to have happen in the book. Um, if they have any traumas, what's going on there, how I'm gonna resolve it. I'll be like, once I'm this point at the book, this has to have happened, stuff like that. And then I fill in the blanks in between. So kind
Yeah.
of a little bit of both. But mainly I guess like I always call it loosely outlining.
I would say you outline. Yeah, compared to some, because I know some that like I've had authors on here. I didn't some of them break them up in I had an author on here, she was like, I break my book up into 4 parts. I've had an author that break their book up into 2 parts and they literally just go with what's going on. Some people go with the title first, some people go with the characters
I
first.
can't do that.
I personally, I do a synopsis first because I need to know where I'm going, and then I can just fill in the blanks like that.
Oh yeah, no, my synopsis I usually write once I'm uploading the book. Is when my synopsis 9 times out of 10 is written. Like, oh no.
Say it ain't. So, on a typical day, how many hours do you normally spend like writing?
Oh,
Uh-huh.
shoot,
Not the
if you
time.
ask me this week, probably like four.
Four?
It
Oh,
depends. Like sometimes I have like really good writing weeks and I'll spend like 4 or 5 hours a day, typically no more than like, writing. Sometimes like this week I'll spend like an hour a day writing, if that. So it fluctuates depending on how, mentally and all that good stuff is going. So this week has been a very slow writing week. I think I've only honestly written probably like 2 or 3 hours altogether. So I'm kind of chalking this week and trying to just like, but so it fluctuates.
so
Sometimes I
now,
go all day and like write on and off. So it kind of depends.
how long does it normally take you to get out of like writing time, writing between each book?
To finish a book or
Yeah, like a month, 2 months, three.
it depends. Like Rugged Ways, it took me what about a month and a half to finish that. Sometimes it'll take me longer. Like it kind of just depends how into the book I am. Some books, I'm into more than others. Sometimes like I have to do more research with certain books, so I it takes me a little longer. So it kind of depends, but typically like a month and a half, 2 months
Hmm.
if I'm having a good, headspace and all that.
That's important. That is very important.
Definitely.
Definitely is. I've seen you on Facebook and, watch you. Of course, we follow each other, but you're very free spirited. And I think that can help. To me, you can be free spirit. Um, so I've watched it and I'm like, she just go with the flow with the life. Just go with life
Yeah.
and just
I kind of
however the
just be in
wind
my own
blows.
bubble for real, for real. Like I just it's
Now, at what point in your life was you like, you're an author? Like, I'm not, I'm really an author. When did you come? Like, what book number was that? Book one, book 10?
um, I don't know, honestly. Sometimes I feel like I'm still kind of there, like,
Really?
dang, like I really, like I really do this for a living. Like sometimes it's like my everyday job is just creating stories. So I don't know. I don't know when it started, but I'm still like that. Like sometimes it still hits me like, dang, like I really write books for a living. I don't think that ever honestly goes away.
Yeah, yeah. Now let's just dive a little deeper in it. That's like, what was your hardest book to write?
Damn, I'm trying to remember all my books. Um,
Girl, I ain't even gonna take you through too much torture.
um, probably tattoo your name just because Xavion's character was so closed off. I actually started his book and put it down and came back to it maybe almost like a year later. Because his character was just so complex and it was just so much I had to figure out on how to get, his character to not even change, but to at least open up to the female main character, to the point where it didn't feel like I was forcing it or anything and it felt organic. So probably that one. Like it definitely took me some time to step away and come back to get that book to flow and work out how I wanted it to.
I just, I love that book, y'all. Y'all don't understand that book is everything to me.
Yes, thank
Right.
you.
I don't be playing back to back. I read that book twice.
I'm so
Uh,
happy. Yay.
what book was the most fun? Like, I had so much fun writing this book.
Probably Drunk in Love or Wrapped Up in His Rugged Ways. I'm realizing like I really like writing about like rappers and celebrities. Like that whole world is just so fun because it's like so much always going on, you know? Like from the blogs, fans, you know, whatever. Like you could do so much with that. So probably one of those two books.
You know, you'll get an inbox from me and I'll be like, where's the third where what book is this? Can I where's the stripper book? Like I ain't like
I
which
know.
stripper?
And I
I
love strippers. That's just so crazy. Like I love strippers.
you
Like
know, and
every,
I'm like,
I feel like every like 3 or 4 books, like someone's going to be a stripper. There's going to be a stripper. Like it's just gotta happen.
in
Love
my
them.
brain, I was one in my past life, just in my brain though,
Same,
like
same,
it just went down in my brain, like this vixen, it was in there or whatever.
same. Everyone, oh, it is so funny because every time I write about one, I get so many inboxes like, "Have you danced before?" And I'm like, "No." Like I promise, no. Like no shade towards it because if I had the body and the confidence for it and the rhythm, I might have tried it in my younger times, but no, they're just fun to me.
Yeah, it's just I don't know. It can be looked at as different ways, but I just be like, honey, if you got it, go with it.
Flaunt it, yes,
Yeah,
yes, same.
I am. I mean, I know other stuff goes on
Yeah,
there. I don't agree with that part of it, but I'm like, if you got it, go for
no,
it.
for real, I agree. I'm the same way.
So we're gonna start right here. We're gonna play a game. And it's
Okay.
game time, and it's called this or that. So I will give you two answers. Like I'll give you a question and be like, this or that, which one you like? So
Okay.
we're going to go with this or that. Which one you would choose between writing or whatever? A king pen or a queen pen?
Probably Kingpin.
King pen.
I mean, really neither, but probably Kingpin.
They probably need the. All right, this or that. Kidnapper turned love interest or marriage for convenience.
Oh, Kidnapper for sure. I want to write a Kidnapper lover book. Kidnapper for sure.
You don't have it in your catalog yet, huh?
Nope.
Definitely. Yeah. Listen, we love the
When I
kidnapper.
dabble in my dark romance, when I finally get to my dark romance writing, I'm definitely it's on the list. It's definitely, I
Girl
definitely
goes down with the kidnapper.
yes,
Like,
I love a good kidnapper to lover story because like why like in real life why
yes, yes, definitely. This or that vacation within the states or international.
oh international for sure.
I I I could see you in Japan and China and everything. I could
Yes,
see,
that's on my list
yeah,
too.
I definitely could see that one.
The capital of the world.
Know why I'm about to ask you this, but this is that secret baby or baby mama drama.
Oh, secret baby for sure.
All day, all day. I knew it. This or that, friends to lovers or enemies to lovers.
I feel like enemies to lovers just because I struggle with writing books where the characters already know each other. Like I don't like writing books where the characters already know each other. But I don't think I've ever really written of enemies to lovers, but that I would prefer that over friends to lovers.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's a tricky one. It's a tricky one. You gotta, especially that one and second chance at love is tricky to
Because
me.
you have to show, like, you have to prove that they already know, you know, each other. Like, you have to prove that that connection is already there to make the love make sense. And I feel like it just makes my job so much harder to do that. Like, why can't I just start y'all off fresh? So that's why I rarely write either.
Right. Now, I'm gonna say this one at the end right here. All right, so you already kind of answered this one, but this or that, urban fiction romance or contemporary romance?
um, if I had to actually stick with a genre, it would probably be romance.
Contemporary.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Next to last. All right. This or that. You had to ride on a retreat for the rest of your life or whatever. Would you choose the mountains or the beach?
Um, that's a good question.
Are you a
Probably,
mountain girl or a beach girl?
probably the beach. I'm a beach girly. Probably the beach.
Really?
Yeah,
Y'all can have the beach, okay?
I
Both of y'all can have that
I'm not
beach.
really a cold girly, and the mountains get cold. Okay, I'm probably beach. Give me a nice little umbrella, one of them laid back beach chairs. Give me a towel put over my lap, my laptop, baby. I'm on it. Listen to the
You
waves.
on it. Mm.
Yes.
Last one, and this is you. You gotta pick between these two.
Okay.
Okay? This or that. Arranged marriage, you gotta marry somebody, marry off to a stranger,
Okay.
or one night stand with a baby. You gotta have a one night stand and keep that baby. Yeah.
If he rich, is he rich?
Now look, here we go. Everybody asks the same question.
Oh, okay.
No.
I just want to get married, so I'll probably say one night stand. Married, I'm not a fan of marriage, so I'll probably say one night stand with a baby.
You mentioned that before. You're not.
Yeah, marriage don't appeal to me, so I'll probably do one night stand. But if he is rich, I'm gonna take the
Um,
marriage.
girl, you
I'm
not.
married for the money, okay?
You don't even know him like that.
I
So
don't know him enough to have the baby
you gonna get
either.
to know him.
Yeah, I don't know who I'm having the baby. The baby could come out psychopath. Who knows? You know, missing a toe because they got some slowness going. You never know. You know.
That's
So
true. That's
at
true.
least it's a millionaire. Set.
Yes, yes. We'll make some things work with the pockets, huh? Love it.
Exactly.
I'm
Exactly.
sweet. Listen, so let's go into who you are outside of being an author. Like, tell me a little bit about who Tay Monae is.
I feel like I'm like simple. I'm a homebody for real. I feel like probably on the internet you probably wouldn't think that because I feel like I'm more kind of social on the internet, but I'm a homebody. I'm a dog mom. I literally sit in the house, binge watch anime most of the time or some TV show. Um, I love to bake. Definitely love to bake. And I don't know. I just feel like I guess I can kind of see what you were saying. I kind of am kind of go with the flow. I pretty much try to stay in my bubble. Like
Wow.
I feel like I'm like boring for real. Like I'm not well, at least now. Like I really don't do too much. I be pretty much to myself, kind of just
I think that's the safest way to be now, though.
it
Like,
is.
it's safe to just be at home, do
Yeah,
your
it
own
be
thing.
too much. People be too much. I just don't be having time. And I feel like every time I've tried to put myself, out there, it just backlash and didn't go how it was supposed to. So now I just be like, that
Yeah,
that no, I don't know. So
yeah.
yeah, I'm a homebody. I'm like an introvert, out extrovert. Kind of depending on the setting I'm in. I'm very like if I'm comfortable enough, I'm social, but I pretty much just I'd rather sit in the corner with my like Kindle put up on my iPad or on my phone and just kind of people watch while I read.
Hey, people watch.
Oh, I love the people
How much
watch.
do you read? How much do you read?
I try to read every weekend. If I'm not catching up on writing, I try to take like the weekends off to read or catch up on like my anime or whatever show I'm watching at the time. Or even if I have a good writing week and like I write all through the morning, I like usually read in the afternoon. So I still read pretty frequently. I'm not gonna lie, I've been reading a lot more of the other side lately, but I feel like it's because they have more diversity in their storylines. And I've been reading a lot more things that they're not scared to jump out the box. definitely not scared. Sometimes they're too free with jumping out the box, but I feel like you get so much of like, I don't want to be one of those people, and I don't want to say the same thing, but I feel like you get so much of like normacy with, our stuff. And so sometimes it's like a fresh breath, to go over there and see like they just write. They don't care most of the time. So I don't know. If I feel like I read frequently, but at the same time, not enough.
I mean, is there something you would never write about? Like it ain't gonna ever be in a Tay Monae book.
Feel
Now,
like
would you do the
yes.
BDSM? Would you do the paranormal? Would you do the
I wouldn't do. I love to read paranormal. I wouldn't do paranormal just because I know that's not my lane.
yeah?
Like I read a lot of paranormal, and I don't. I hate reading the ones where I feel like I'm cheated. Like there's not enough details to make stuff make sense. And I talk to a couple paranormal authors, and I see like the research and everything that they put in to make sure their stories make sense, the history and all that. And I just don't. That's just not. Historical romance. I'm not a historical romance girly either. I've written up kind of about them, but love triangles. I don't really care for love triangles.
Like
Honestly, I
poly,
just huh.
like the poly.
Yeah,
No,
well, not even
it,
poly, like not
it's
even
kind
poly,
of
like actual love triangles. Like I said, I want to maybe try one. I have a storyline for one, but I just don't because I feel like I get too invested in a certain couple in like one of the couples, so then I like forget to try to like still show the
oh,
other person. So, harems, I'm not a harem girly. Like I've read some, but I'm not the one to write one. Like you about to have this one person, and you about to get it together. Um. I would, I won't say I won't ever do a step, like a step thing, like a stepdad or whatever, but I would never do it to the point where like they were raised by them or they grew up with them. Like they would have to be like fresh or something like your mom married your stepdad and like within that year y'all like started kissing, something like that. But
yeah,
I don't think
okay.
I would never take that taboo stuff like too deep. I've read some that are good, but I just it's a limit. What else? There's probably more, but those are like what I could think of off the
Yeah,
top of my head.
yeah. Now let's go book bay. You got a book bay in your catalog? It's like, man, if it was in real life, it was everything to me.
I would say, damn, what is his name? I have so many
Girl, you
characters.
got
I
trust
just
me.
wrote him a couple months ago too. Hold on, let me open up my Kindle on my iPad because baby, I got too many damn books. What is his
Say you
name?
got one.
I feel like okay, so Lawson's one. If I'm fell from the wrong one,
Okay.
I feel like he was just like I don't know. He like every like for when he had money, he had confidence. Like he was a lover. Like he was a provider, protector. I feel like he all around was like the package. So he's one. Um, Probably Lucian. I love. I still
Mm-hmm.
know my like rugged boys. My hoods. And I just love how he always stood for Araya, even when she was showing her ass. What's his name? Hold on. The one from A Girl Like Me. This is a shame. I should not be forgetting my characters' names.
Yeah,
Zane.
way
Um,
characters.
Man, Zane, just because, like I said, A Girl Like Me was loosely based on me. And I feel like with the issues Nia was going through, that's how I would want somebody to carry me and handle me, because I deal with a lot that she's going through still. And then
Yeah.
I thought Drew too. Like Drew was just like, even though he was a rapper and he was in the spotlight, he was young, he knew what he wanted, he stood on business, and he made sure that Ciamara knew like it was into every time. Like he never slipped away from that. So those are probably some.
There's nothing like a man that know what they want. And
No, for real.
yeah, like just know what you want, know who you are, and the confidence. I mean, I ain't gonna say, look too bad, but you can kind of handle a different type of approach when, when that man carry himself well, his confidence is there, his pockets is there, everything is there. You can kind
Yep.
of like, I can work with this,
Yep.
like,
And I always feel like my guys, even when they like fight it at first, like once they're invested, they're like invested, you know? Like they're like mine. Like that's
yeah,
mine. Like
yeah,
don't touch, don't
yeah,
look, don't smell, don't cough.
right. Now, do you like a lot of cheating and stuff like that in your books?
It's so funny that you asked that. So I just was having this debate on Twitter. Um, Me personally, I've only written, well, recently, I've only written like one book where cheating was actually really present. I personally don't have a problem with it. I feel like I like a lot of English in books, and
Mhm.
I like drama. I don't like that's one reason like I can't really do contemporary because I feel like everything's too perfect. You know,
Yeah,
like a lot of especially when the couples get together, like it's just I don't like that. Like I like you have to go through the storm, baby. Like so I don't mind cheating. I don't like when there's cheating and there's no growth from the cheating. Like if you're constantly having your guy cheat, and the girl cries about it, whatever, but she takes him back and like nothing really develops from that, then no. But if like he cheats or he's cheating and there's like some type of development in between the cheating and the end, then I can rock with that. I don't mind it.
now, have you ever written a book where like your readers thought they was gonna end up with this person and it ended up with a whole another character?
Yeah, so with Three's a Crowd, actually, um,
You
the
read
main
that?
character gets pregnant and a lot of people thought she was gonna end up with, well, I don't ruin it, but the situation that happens with her, a lot of people thought that the ending was going to be opposite of what it was in a lot of different ways. And it's kind of funny because that book had like 4 or 5 different endings in my head.
Mhm.
Um, and that was like one where it could have went either way. So probably Three's a Crowd. Trying to think, was there any other one? Oh, this is like an older book when I was signed, but there's a couple in my book called In Love with a Heartless Menace. The one of the girls in there, she almost ended up with a whole different person than who she ended up with at the end. And there's probably more, but I got too many damn
Yeah.
characters.
Mhm. Now, do your readers come after you when you like they were like, wow, you fooling with the wrong person?
Yes.
You know, they come, they come.
Yes. Most of the time it's more so they they it's usually more so it's a decision. Like, say for like Drunken Love, like a lot of people came for me with what is her name? Naisha, how she handled the situation that she was faced with. There was like
Mhm.
a lot of backlash on her end, you know? So it's like little stuff like that, you know? It's not generally like how the plot is or anything. It's usually something real specific like that. Like the character is like, why the fuck? But I'm like, well, I did my job. Like that's
Yeah.
the reaction that I wanted to have.
Yes,
Even though
exactly.
my girl, she was justified. I don't care what nobody say. She was justified.
Yes, drunken love is who said that? Shay was somebody. One of them said it in there. That's like that's a go-to one for sure. What is your hardest scene to write? Like, is it the intimate scenes? Is it like do you struggle with them?
Probably my first 15K of my book or my last 15K. My first 15K, it's tough because I'm still trying, even though I know the characters on paper, I'm trying to learn their voice. And I'm trying to get the flow of the story and everything. But usually once I pass like that 15,000 word mark, it pretty much flows for me.
Mhm.
And then the last 15, 10K, I feel like I start getting lazy and I start slacking a lot because I know like the end is right there. So I slow down mentally, without really meaning to. So I would say probably one of those two. Like sex scenes, I feel like they can be challenging, but if I'm very connected with my couple that I'm writing and I really like the couple, then they're way easier.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah. Now let's go into like reviews. Like, how important is it for you for readers to leave a, a rated review or a written review? How important is it for them to leave a written review versus a rated review?
Um, I feel
Or
like
leave a review, period.
well, reviews help because like the more you get reviewed, the more Amazon kind of pushes your book, like visibility wise for one. And of course, readers are going to target the books that have more stars and more reviews and stuff. I feel like personally, it can go either way, ratings or reviews, except if you give me like 3 stars and it can go either way, but I feel like if you give me anything less than 3 stars, and I don't think it's just for me, I think for any book, you should
Mhm.
be required to give some type of review.
That's true.
'Cause it's like, why? And I used to get upset about reviews but now I like use them to grow, most of the time. Some reviews I just be like, okay, you must be having a bad day because I don't know
Mhm.
what's going on with you. But I feel like if you didn't like the book enough to give that low of a rating, you should be required to give a
Right.
reason, because it's like, but I definitely like utilize them. I am one of those authors. I don't After like a couple of weeks, I kind of stopped reading them, but I do read them at least in the first couple of weeks, and like I said, like if I see, like, say for instance, they're like this character, the main female in this book, there was no growth with her when she just kind of accepted anything. I didn't feel like it was genuine because XYZ, whatever, whatever. And I see that multiple times. I'm gonna take that in consideration when I write my next female character. So like stuff like that, I do take into like I do use reviews for because I'm like, you know, if you're seeing it here and multiple people are saying it, obviously that's something I didn't think about unless I specifically wanted it written that way, that's different. But if it's something I just wrote and it wasn't clicking like how it should have and readers were able to feel that, then like I use the reviews and hope, my next book so it doesn't turn out the same.
That's good. Now, how do you think your journey has been, personally to yourself? How do you feel like your journey has been?
Long. I had some bumps in the road. I had to learn um that everything does not need a reaction. I had to learn that sometimes it is okay not to speak on certain things. I had to learn that everybody, no matter how genuine they try to seem, does not have your best intentions in mind. So it's been a rocky journey. I hit some bumps. Have some times I was just like, is this what I'm supposed to be doing?
Mhm.
Wanted to give up, whatever. But overall, I feel like it's been what it is. It's been good. I'm kind of at a point right now where I'm like, what's next? Like I am kind of wanting to elevate, I guess.
Mhm.
So I kind of feel like I've been kind of like coasting like this past like year. But I mean, my overall journey though, like it's been good. Like I've been full time. I went full time writing like a year after I got signed. I went indie like 2 years after I got signed. So, there's been growth. There's been a lot of ups, with the downs. So fruitful, It's definitely
Yeah.
been a ride though.
How's your
But so,
indie journey been?
my injury actually has been really, really good.
Mhm.
I feel like once I got from under a publisher and I kind of had that freedom to kind of write what I wanted. Not that my last publisher was like, well, not that my publisher was like really strict, but they were at the time that's when like urban was really, really pushed heavy.
Mhm.
And I learned so like early that I wasn't really an urban writer. So once I was able to get out of that box of having to write urban and kind of write what I more so feel comfortable with that flowed better for me, it definitely helped my journey a lot. And I feel like you see it a lot in my writing. So my writing journey has actually been like really good. Like I said, right now I feel like I'm kind of at a standstill with it. And I'm kind of trying to figure out, what's next, if I want to get a literacy agent, try publishing traditionally, screenwriting, stuff like that. But my indie journey has been good though. Like I can't really complain about it.
Do you see yourself like becoming a publisher?
No, no,
You
no.
know?
I don't like to teach. I don't have patience to teach people. I don't have patience. I don't like when people act like they don't understand certain things that seem I just no.
For you.
No. Because and then I'm the type too. I get like once I'm involved in a book that I'm writing, I get tunnel vision on it,
Yeah.
and I will put your needs to the back until I get my stuff together. So no, not for me.
I mean, at least you know, like that is
Yeah,
not where I see myself going.
yeah. No, I've had people ask like for me to mentor them, and I'm just like, no, I'm sorry, I'm not that author. I promise you. I'm like, I'm not even gonna hold you. I'm not even I'm gonna consider it. No, I'm not that.
Hey, I'm trying to get this over here together. I can't even work
Literally,
together.
I don't mind answering a question or two, but that's as far as we can go, baby. That is it.
I'm too weak.
Yes.
What events do you have coming up that, viewers and readers can get to you?
Um, when is it? I think is it in July? I think it's in July. I'll be in Detroit at Miss King, or is it June? June or July? I gotta check. Or is it August? Sometime this summer, I'll be
Mhm.
in Detroit, or not Detroit, but Michigan, for Miss Candace's Books and Brunch event.
Okay.
In September, I will be in Cali for Love and Books by Girlfriends Unfiltered.
Yeah.
And then in October, I'll be in South Carolina for Aisha Bree and Kimberly Brown's Southern something book event.
Okay. All right. I think I
And
can
that's
make
it.
yeah.
Next
Let's
year,
see.
y'all won't see me nowhere.
That's
Staying home.
now look, wait, hold up. Don't let me give you the side eye because next
Well,
we got
yeah, well,
yeah,
yeah,
we're gonna be communicating
yeah,
about
yeah.
what we're working on now.
Besides that, I ain't going nowhere. I wasn't supposed to go nowhere this year, but I personally got invited to stuff. But next year, I'm standing on business.
Don't stay on business next year because I'm moving things back to the 25th to year 2025. So at least make it to that one.
Okay,
All right, now
yeah,
look.
we can.
Yeah, make it to that one, and you want to they're like, do you travel? Do everything you need to do. Now, where can we find all of your books?
So all my books are on Amazon. Besides one is on my website, taymonawrites.com. But the rest are all on Amazon. All my audiobooks are on Audible, Amazon, whichever site you buy them from. I don't really think it matters. Or you can go to my website, taymonawrites.com, and they're all available to purchase, like the links and everything, so you can get to where you can buy them at there.
Okay, y'all heard it. TayMonaiWrites.com. So Tay, thank you, girl, for
Yeah,
taking your time out. Listen, she came on for Book Bessies and she said, I'm gonna come back on for the interview. She's so sweet and polite with it. And she came on and did the interview. She stuck by her word and she came on. Now I
yeah.
know she said she ain't gonna be outside till 2025, but listen, I'm gonna get her the side. I'm be in the inbox, be like, now you said you gonna show up. So make sure you
Good.
yeah, good guys. So appreciate you for coming. Just hold on and if anybody got any questions they want to ask, anything like that. So
Thank you.
again, this is MarKela with Between the Pages. We have Author Tay Monae. Please go to taymonaiwrites.com. and get her books at Amazon or over to Audible as well to listen if you into that type of thing. Just
Yes. And
hold
I
on.
do have an audiobook coming out next month too, on the 26th. Araya and Lucian will be releasing. It's available for pre-order right now.
On Tay Monae Rights
It's through
or
Audible. Nope, this one's through Audible.
through
Yep.
Audible. Okay. Through Audible. All right, guys. Hold on tight. Like and subscribe, please. Bye. Till next week.